there, this is Ryan Dice, and once again, welcome to LaunchGrid, and in particular, welcome to the Core Concepts module. You kind of get a little bit of a break this week. As we kind of progress through this training, there's going to be some weeks where they're going to be a little more intense, you're going to have a little more work to do on your end, a little more training videos to watch, and then there's some where we're going to give you a little bit of a break. And to start off, we're going to kind of ease you into this training. What I want to do is just explain some of these broader, big, more, overarching concepts that you really need to understand before we dive in. So while I know that you're probably thinking, okay, let's get in. Let's just get, I've got this idea, I've got this great concept, let's get it launched. If you don't understand some of these, basic concepts, then something's going to get lost in translation. And believe me, I know the tendency. I know the tendency is to want to move very, very quickly and to progress through. But the reason that we have set this up in a structured format is because we know that this is the best way to get the best results. And I know this is true because I have some friends and some colleagues that I allowed to preview some of this information. They jumped ahead and stuff didn't work out for them. And they're saying, hey, this didn't work, and it's because they missed a key step. So understanding these core concepts is critical. In addition to understanding these core concepts, I also want to talk about the goals, right? What are the goals of this workshop as a whole? What are we really seeking to accomplish together? I'm a big believer in beginning with the end in mind. So I have some broad goals, and there's a lot of goals that are involved, but there's a couple of them that I really want to highlight right now in the beginning before we really officially kind of get this thing started. And the first big goal, I want to confirm problem solution fit, okay? Confirm problem solution fit. We're going to talk more about what that means in just a second. Secondly, I want to confirm product market fit. Now, a lot of times people use these terms interchangeably. They mean very different things, which I'm about to explain. And so we want to first be able to check off the first one and then knock out the second one. And then what I want to be able to do is validate your predictable selling process, all right? Validate your predictable selling process. So let's go back to the top. Confirm problem solution fit. What do we mean when we talk about problem solution fit? Well, what we're looking at is, number one, do we know what the problem is? Can we speak to a very specific problem that our market has? Are we able to identify that? And then secondarily, do we have the solution to that problem? That's the first big thing. So problem solution fit speaks to what you do, okay? Is the thing that you do, is it valuable, right? And it needs to be valuable in two ways. Number one, it needs to be valuable because it's a real felt need. It's a real life problem that actually exists. I can't tell you how many products out there have gone to market, seemingly great products, well designed, well engineered, and they failed from a product perspective because they didn't solve a real life problem. So we need to make sure, number one, is there a real tangible felt problem, this felt need in the marketplace? And then number two, do you actually have the solution for it? Does your solution work? Does it deliver that full desired end result that the market wants? So this first one is confirming, yes, we have problem solution fit. It's a real problem and we have a real live solution. Now, how does this differ from confirming product market fit? Okay, confirming product market fit. What we're looking at with product market fit is, does the mechanism, right, the vehicle that we're leveraging to solve this problem, is that what this market wants? Okay, so we're not talking so much about what we do, the problem we solve. We're talking about how we go about doing it. And I want to give you a little example to kind of bring this point home. It's very common, and we work with a lot of people who are consultants. Consultants are really, really sharp. They're very good at diving into companies and solving particular problems. And so what they want to do is they come to us and they say, okay, I want to turn what I do into a course. So that instead of me having to go in there and spend all of my time working with these companies on a one-on-one basis, instead of me having to do that, they can just buy my course and great, it's better leverage, it's better for me, and that's what I want to do. Now, it could be that that's great. It could be that's exactly what the market wants. I mean, you, for example, if you're watching me right now, it's because you found enough benefit in investing in this particular course as opposed to having me come into your company and work with you directly. Not that I'd be able to do that, but you saw the value in this mechanism, right? You saw the value in the product and the specific vehicle, the specific method that we're using to deliver that product. But this isn't always the case, right? It's not uncommon for the market to say, yes, we have this problem. Yes, we need this solution, but I don't like the way that you're delivering this solution to me. And this is especially common when you have service providers who want to be able to productize their service offering, consultants who want to be able to productize the things they do in the form of a book, right? So when we're confirming product market fit, we're no longer asking the question of, is there a real problem and do we have the solution? We've already answered that question. We're now getting to the question of, does the market want us to solve their problem in the way that we want to solve it for them? The specific mechanism and the specific positioning. This includes price point. So again, going back to this, do you have this particular problem? Yes, we do. Do you believe that we have the solution? Yep. I, as the customer, believe that you have the solution. Fantastic. It costs $100 billion. Well, crap, right? You have failed to achieve product market fit. The way that you've positioned the product doesn't fit with what the market is looking for. They were expecting something less than $100 billion, right? Safe to say. So when we talk about confirming product market fit, we're no longer getting into problems and solutions. We're getting into specific product positioning. And this is where you have to be a little bit open-minded. And this is why I say you don't have to have your product figured out before you go to market. You don't have to have your product completely dialed in before you launch. In fact, in many cases, it's better if you don't, because you're going to be a lot more flexible. So if the market comes to you and says, yes, I have this problem and yes, I need this solution, but gosh, could you do this? Could you make it red instead of blue? That would really help me out. Or I don't need all these other features that you have. If you could just do this one little thing and maybe charge me a little bit less, that would be great. We need to listen for those things and we need to confirm product market fit. We're going to do that, right? That's going to be a big, big goal. Big goal that we're going to look to achieve, frankly, by the end of Module 4. Then we get into validating the predictable selling process. Validating the predictable selling process. Now, I'm going to say something right now that might anger that might anger some folks out there. It might even have some people saying, "Hey, I'm out. I want to take you up on the guarantee, and I want a refund." My goal for you, when you go through this Launch Grid workshop, is not to get you rich. At least not now. It's not to make you all the money in the world. That's just not the case. Now, hopefully, the things that we develop here will be scaled, and that will occur down the road. But right now, what I really want for you is I want you to figure out what's your predictable selling process. Your predictable selling process. And what I mean is not what's a way that we can launch, generate a whole bunch of sales and a whole bunch of revenue really, really quickly and make a whole lot of money. Okay? I'm not saying that's a bad thing. In fact, that could be a very good thing. But if you can only ever do it once, then it's not a predictable selling process. It's not a repeatable selling process. I don't want you to launch with a one-hit wonder. And I know you've seen this before. I know you've seen this out in the marketplace. Somebody comes out with a brand new product, get all their buddies in that market to promote it. It's all the rage, and everybody goes and buys it, and then boom, in an instant, they make a lot of money, right? And it shoots up, and then their business starts to decline, and they're like, we need to do another launch. We're running out of money. Let's do another one. And they try to shoot up again, and eventually it's a failed model if you treat it as a pure business model. If you treat it as this is an opportunity to generate revenue and to launch a product, then it can be great. But absent a predictable selling process, it will only just be peak valley until you're done. And again, I know you've seen this. If you've been in just about any market, you've seen this. It happens in the entertainment industry. We've seen it with one-hit wonders, right? We've seen it with bands that are able to produce one really great song, and that's good. That's good, but I don't want you to be a one-hit wonder. I don't want your launch to be a one-hit wonder. I want your launch to be Motown, right? I want your launch to be, dare I say, a boy band, right? I want it to be this kind of thing where we know, okay, pull this product out, insert this other product, release it again. We've got the formula, we've got the structure, boom, we launch it, and it works. That's what I want for you. That is my goal for you. So if you signed up for this in the hopes that you're going to make $1 million in a day as a result of your launch, I'm here to tell you there's a good chance that that won't happen, an exceedingly great chance that it won't happen. In fact, it's not the goal that I have for you in this workshop. what I want to do is give you a process that when you do go out there and you launch and it works, it's not a peak valley. It's a awesome. Now we're at this level, pop up again, and it's repeatable, and you can do it over and over and over again. That's what real businesses that have lasting value do, and we're going to talk a lot more about that. So the key here, once we have validated our predictable selling process, which by the way doesn't mean that you won't go out there and launch and make $1 million in a day. That may very well happen. It's just yay, right? Not necessarily the goal. But the key word here is process, right? Process, and that again, my goal for you is to create processes, not necessarily profit. If immediate profit results from these processes that we create together, then fantastic. But I know for an absolute fact, and for multiple in multiple ways that I can explain in just a second, that processes are more valuable than the products that you create. Processes are more valuable. We're going to talk about this more, but just know products will come and go. The product that you have in your head right now that you're planning to launch in the context of this particular workshop, you need to know that in 2 years, you're probably will have moved on to something else. Certainly your market will have moved on to something else, and you're gonna need to do it again. You're gonna need to give them something new, something different, something better. And that's not a bad thing, right? That's not a bad thing at all. Look at massive companies like Apple. Right? They need to come out with new features for the iPhone, new products, right? This is just how markets work. They expect us to continue to work for them, providing increasing levels of value, right? So having just a single great product or a single great product launch, that can be beneficial in the short term, but it's the process. It's the processes that allow you to do it over and over and over again and create that lasting long-term value. So we're gonna be talking about this a lot. Right? And really what LaunchGrid is all about is figuring out what is that process going to be for you? What's that process going to be for your company, for your brand? For this particular product, yes, but then how do we leverage it for additional products? So keep that in mind. Processes. Processes are more valuable than products, okay? So what we're really looking at, to use another analogy, is do you want the golden egg or do you want the goose that lays the golden egg? There's lots of people out there who can share with you nifty tricks and tactics and things like that to get a one-time golden egg. That is a one-hit wonder. Yay, I have my egg, and it's the last egg that you will ever have. What we're building here, in kind of a creepy sort of way, this is where this analogy breaks down because it's biological and mechanical at the same time, but go with it, right? But what we're building here is a goose. Right? We are building a goose that will hopefully lay egg after egg after egg after egg. That's what we want, right? That's what we want in this LaunchGrid workshop. That's what I want for you. And hopefully now that I've gone through this and I've explained it, it's what you want for yourself as well. So does it mean that you're not going to make any money and at the end of the day you're just going to have a bunch of spreadsheets and stuff like that? No, of course, we want to be able to get a goose that very quickly lays a golden egg. We just don't want it to be the only egg we ever get from the goose, okay? Processes. My goal for you is processes. And that is what the launch needs to be about. Launching for validation, launching for proof, launching for processes. Then once we've launched, we continue to scale that launch beyond that point. So with that in mind, let's move on to the next video.